In my last video, I showed you a few ways that you could use LinkedIn to find the exact right people to help you find your next job or internship. So now that you've found them, now what? What are some of the best practices of connecting to these new prospects or leads on LinkedIn? Well, let me show you a few ways and a few different templates that you can use when reaching out to these individuals. Now, from the search, when you find someone that you would like to connect to, you can, of course, just hit the connect button if it's available. If it's not yet available, you may have to use a LinkedIn InMail. You might have to find a group that they're a member of and join that group, and that will bring those people closer into you in your network. And then you should be able to invite them to connect as long as they've made that setting open. People can choose not to connect to people they don't know on LinkedIn. That's one of the security settings. So once you've found that individual that you want to connect to, all you have to do is click on connect and add a note. That's from the search results. And this is new with the new user interface. Just a word of advice, if you are inviting people to connect from the mobile browser, what you need to do is click the top 3 dots by the right of their name, and that will allow you to personalize the invitation. So you can personalize an invitation when you're on mobile, but you have to go to the person's profile. There's 3 dots to the right of their, well, it's actually to the right of their picture. If you click on those 3 dots, you will be able to personalize your invitation. You can also, on LinkedIn, of course, go to their profile. And as we just saw in the search results, if you just click on the connect button, that will allow you to send them an invitation, but always customize it. So let's look at some possible notes or some possible invitations that you can use.
Hi, name. Obviously, you'd put in their first name. I just graduated from the school you graduated from, or I'm going to soon be graduating from whatever college or university you went to, and I'm starting to build my LinkedIn network. Your profile came up in my search for, again, whatever industry they're in, either themselves personally or their company, and we're not connected yet. So I'm sending an invitation of the hopes that you'll connect, and then simply sign with whatever you prefer. Thanks, cheers, have a great day, and then your name and your phone number. Now, remember, you cannot put an email address or a link to any kind of website in here, but you can put a phone number in there. So always give them a way to connect with you. Remember, you're limited to 300 characters. So if once you add the industry and your school name in, if you're over that 300 characters, you can do something more simple like this. I was reviewing your profile. I hope you don't think that's creepy. I am a recent graduate in, and again, whatever you just graduated in or will be graduating in, and I would love to add you to my network, again, with the thanks, the name, and the phone number. Now, this is a little bit off the cuff. I would not recommend men sending this message to women, but women could definitely send this to other women and possibly to men. Just always be very sensitive about that kind of relationship on LinkedIn. Additionally, if you are looking at other countries, be sensitive to the country's culture and the relationship between men and women, professionals and students, people with experience and not experience. So always just be aware of those cultural issues when inviting people to connect. Of course, the simplest invitation is, hi, name, as a recent graduate, or I'll soon be graduating from, and whatever school you went to, I'm hoping you'd be willing to connect with me. And then again, salutations, name, and phone number. Now, of course, if the person is someone you actually know on LinkedIn and in life, you can simply say that. Hi, first name. I can't believe we're not connected on LinkedIn yet. We should rectify that. Salutation, name, phone number. Or you could be a little bit more informative. Hi, name. I just graduated from school, or I'll soon be graduating from school, and I'm starting to build my LinkedIn network. Your profile came up in my search today, and we're not connected yet, so I'm sending an invitation. Let's catch up soon. Name, phone number, with, usual salutation. So those are the kind of customized invitations that you can send from a search and from search results, but let's look at some other areas on LinkedIn where you might be able to send messages to great prospects in your job search. The first one is people you may know, because LinkedIn is actually saying these are people you may know. So when you invite them to connect, remember always to go to their name. If you just click on the connect button, it's going to just send them an invitation, which I actually just did by accident. So always click on their name. That will take you into their profile. Then you can click on the connect button, click on add a note, and some good notes from someone you should know will simply address the fact that LinkedIn says you should know them. So you could do something like, hi name, I just graduated from school and I'm starting to build my LinkedIn network. Your profile came up in my search for, again, whatever industry leaders. We're not connected yet, so I'm sending you an invitation in the hopes that you'll accept. Very similar to what we did with people we just found in a search. Another option is, LinkedIn suggested you were someone I should know. I'm a recent graduate in whatever you just graduated in, and I would like to connect if you're open to it. And then a simple salutations, name, and phone number. Now, in the last video, we talked about alumni and what you could send to an alumni member. Just as a review, you could do something as simple as, hey name, it's been ages. I just found you on LinkedIn. What have you been up to in the past, 20 years? Thanks, name, phone number. Again, this is someone you know who's an alumni. If it's someone and you're not 100% sure they're going to actually remember you, just remind them of the class that you took together or the courses that you were in and say something like, hey, name, it's been ages. I don't know if you remember, but we were in this class together. I just found you on LinkedIn. Would you be open to catching up? Again, with the thanks, name, and phone number. If it's someone you went to school with, but you don't actually know them, maybe they were in a different field of study, you can say, I see we're both alumni of name of school, circa whatever year you graduated. Would you like to connect? Or if it's another school that you went to, hi name, I was checking out the Harvard alumni and I see that you were there from year to year. Would you like to connect? The nice thing, if you'll remember from the previous video, is that you get much more access to people if you can find them through their alumni page on whatever school that they went to. So as long as you know the school where a prospective gatekeeper, someone who can give you access to a company, as long as you know where they went to school, you have a good opportunity of finding them through the school's alumni search. And like I said, those are just a few of the messages or the invitations, rather, that you can send to those individuals. And finally, one of the strategies that I love is finding people who work at a company that I'm interested in working with or working for. So, of course, when you go to that company page, you can see if you already have any connections there. That's great because you can just send them a message and you can ask them to introduce you to people. So that's very powerful. But also you can see all the employees at that company on LinkedIn. And as you move through and find someone who might be a good lead for you, you just click on connect. And of course, you customize your note. So what are some of the notes that you can use? Hi, name. I see that you're the title at, in this case, OtterBox. As a recent graduate from whatever school you graduated from, I'm hoping you'll be willing to connect with me. Or, hi, name, as a recent graduate from school, I was hoping to build my LinkedIn network with people I admire at the company, in this case, OtterBox. Would you be willing to connect? Or you could go the even more direct route. Hi, name, I'm a recent graduate and your company is on my short list. Would you be willing to connect? And could I ask you a question from time to time? And of course, in all cases, sign with salutation of choice, name, and phone number. When it comes to connecting to people at a company that you're interested in, you don't always have to go for the HR person. Of course, if you already know someone there, ask if you can have an informational interview, 10 or 15 minutes where you can ask about the company culture and get a little bit more, insider's information into the company that you're interested in working with. And then maybe they'd be even willing to introduce you to someone in HR who can actually do the hiring. If you don't know anyone at that company, there's always the possibility that you have someone in common and that you can ask an introduction from those individuals. So there's a lot of power in the company search and being able to invite or message someone from that company.
So as we wrap up, I totally understand that reaching out to a stranger the first time can be completely daunting, which is why we created these templates for you. I think you'll discover after you use them a few times that it's really not that hard to send invitations on LinkedIn. And of course, once you get people accepting those invitations, especially if they're exactly the right people to help you get your new position, you're going to start loving LinkedIn and you're going to start loving using these templates. Now, a word of warning, when it comes to sending invitations to LinkedIn, some of you are going to be totally gung-ho and you're going to be sending like hundreds of invitations a day. Don't do that for two reasons. First of all, if you send more than about 50 invitations a day, LinkedIn might think you're actually automating the process and they could restrict your account. Secondly, when you send an invitation to connect and someone says they don't know you, enough of those and LinkedIn will restrict your account. So that's why we always personalize the invitations, because we want to keep people from saying they don't know us. If you personalize the invitation, especially with the templates that we've shared, chances are that even if they don't accept your invitation to connect, they'll just delete or ignore the invitation, and you won't get all those what's known as IDKs or I don't know. So there you go. Your homework is to go out, find 5 people, just 5 to start, that you would like to be connected to, and using any of these methods, reach out and connect, and then see what happens. Do 5 more tomorrow, 5 more the day after that. And once you start getting really comfortable with this process, you could amp it up to 10, 20, 30 invitations a day. All right, get going, and I'll see you on the next video.